this year. and recording's in progress in case you weren't tracking. But using the Dino Roundup as a as a hook for our kids to get them excited about joining Scouts, and then as we get to our recovery in the fall, continuing with that theme. Are we frozen on the slide? So today is the backpack to retention is the name of the meeting, right? So, but really it's the Cub Scout recruiting fall kickoff. It's the annual planning kickoff. It's talking about funding. We're going to cover a number of topics tonight that we think as a group are important to having a good unit, running a good program, getting kids in the door, and then keeping them with the pack, and then transitioning them over to the troop and making them lifelong Scouters. Okay, so you can see now, hopefully the online, if someone give me a thumbs up or a hand clap or something that they can see the slides. Okay, I got a thumbs up. Thanks, Alice. Got a bunch of them. Awesome.
Participation.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so our recruiting plan, right? So here we are in May. We were talking about the fall recruiting plan on purpose. It takes time, it takes attention, it takes a little bit of forward thinking to be ready for that. So we're going to talk about our expedition plan as we go dig for Scouts, some council provided recruiting incentives, and then our timeline coming up. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so I talked about the theme, the Great Dino Roundup. What we're looking here to do is you have to have a team, right? This is 1 hour a week. That's all you need. You need volunteers. But you've got to build your team, right? And there are ways to do that. We'll talk a little bit about how you recruit adult leaders, generating excitement. That's not just with the kids, that's with the parents too. They have to be excited about the program for their child, and it has to be well organized, and it has to be logical for the most part. Training your volunteers, I think that goes without saying, but we'll say it anyway, right? We have to have trained leaders. It's not just SYT, YPT. Have a hard time making that transition. It's not just SYT, but it's position-specific training that has to get done in order to advance the program. And then you've got your P3 in the district. We've got the council P3. You have a support network to help you as leaders with your recruiting, with your retention, with your programs. Your involvement present at key events, able to talk about scouting, able to talk about your unit and generate that excitement is important. And then really that very long bullet at the bottom. The organization of the pack, the troop, is really a foundation of a good program. So I still remember 1997 going to my first Cub Scout meeting with my oldest, and Ray, the Cub Master, he did a couple of things. One, he had a great orientation for new parents. We understood what the program was. We understood when the meeting for the pack was. He immediately approached us about volunteering to support on the committee. No, don't immediately dive into being a den leader. They had someone, but they come in and support the committee and take an active role in the pack. And that was our hook 30 years ago, and I'm still here today. So having that plan when you get those new parents in, when you get the new Scouts in, is vitally important, and you can hook someone for life. Next slide, please. Okay, real quick, covering the joining incentives, right? So for new Scouts, online or paper application is $12 the discount, and that's the annual council fee, right? I'm trying to get my terminology here. So it's $12 council fee is waived. We've got we're gonna, if you can see this online, it's a tiny little egg that we're gonna have as a part of the new Scouts when they join, and the dinosaur theme. It's a little excavation exercise for them. There's the district dino themes events. Those are the coveries in October, and I think one is in November. New parents guide. So we've got a couple of things for the parents. There's not enough. Well, there's actually probably not for the people in the room. So you guys can take one of these, and then we're online. We'll get these out to y'all to give to your parents. And that's the welcome kit as well. I want to talk a little bit about the military fee registration waiver. Yeah. So there is a flyer that is out, and it goes into effect on June 1st. Some of the details are still being worked out, but what we do know is it's online only. There is if you're familiar with ID.me, that's the verification process. So if you're an active duty military, Coast Guard, so Department of War and Department of Transportation or Homeland Security, sorry. Coast Guard is included. Did we get clarification on Reserve or National Guard? Okay, so we're still waiting on some clarification.
I think the big thing is if they are considered active.
Okay.
So if you're National Guard or reservist, you may need to be deployed or it's your full-time job. It's not a weekend drill.
Yeah. I think what we'll find out is if you have someone who says, am I eligible? If they go in and try to verify on ID.me and they don't get the verification, the answer is no. But if they're active duty and in active status for any reason, the answer is yes. They go through the online application process. It is an annual verification. So when you do your re-registration, you'll have to really do it online, is my understanding, which will be that annual re-verification. You're still active in the military. That is the $85 national fee is waived. The flyer kind of does a very good job of walking you through it, but essentially when you go, if new scout is signing up, it'll show the $85 fee. And then once you go to ID.me, it'll send you there through a link. You'll get a code, you'll bring it back. It's kind of like a coupon discount code, and that will take the fee off. And then at the end, you'll just pay what the council fees are. So that's
pardon the interruption. Just a quick question. This is Jared, Cub Master, Pack 405. I have several parents that are either retirees or things like that. Does that incentive extend to military retirees, or is this just a active duty or on active guard, reserve, etc.?
Active duty only.
All right, thank you.
Great question, though, and probably not the last time that'll be asked.
One other question before we go. How does it work for multiple scouts?
It's ongoing.
Is it if we have 3 scouts with the active military status?
I think it would be good per family up to 4 scouts.
Okay, from the scout executive, we're thinking 1 code for up to 4 scouts. That's something we can look into if we can take that question back and find out what the answer for that is, and we'll get that information out to everybody. Allison, to your question,
mine has to be in the same family, so I mean, yeah.
Well, so ID.me, my understanding of it is, you got your page 2 and all your military records that associate your family with you. And so if you've got a kid on your page 2, that's when you'll get the code. I have to assume that there's some process where they verify that it is your kid that you're vouching for. And I think that also covers those people that is, families of divorce and things like that, right? So if a parent of the child, step parent or actual parent, birth parent, I don't know what the right word is, but you know what I mean, is in the military, I think you can still get there. But I think that's one of those things we'll have to look out for as we get into this. And Allison, to your question, it should be until somebody says no at the DOD, is my understanding. This is not because of the 250th. And someone else, if you guys keep an eye on the questions for me, I appreciate that. So that obviously is a lot of information coming out on that. Please keep the questions coming up to us if there is an ambiguity or you have people who are getting challenged when they go online to do that registration, and we can get the answers for you. Did I miss anything on this? Okay, next slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, so recruiting incentive, we're going to cover this real quick. Normally there is if you're a scout and you bring a buddy to a meeting, that kid signs up, you get some sort of recruiter incentive. There's usually a patch that goes with that. This year, there's also the council is sponsoring a drawing. So each district, if you are you bring in a buddy and they sign up, you get entered into a drawing, and at each district, they're going to on December 10th, we'll have a drawing. You'll get the winner will either be able to choose from a dinosaur Lego kit or a family 4-pack to Virginia Living Museum. So trying to get kids to, in addition to having a great program and being excited about being there, they get a little bit of a an opportunity for a bonus for bringing one of their friends and having them stick around. Okay, brand new, hot off the presses. New information for just about everybody in the room, okay? So one of the things that when I first came on board with membership, and I talked to Jamie and Bill and John Schad about it, and we talked a lot about the foundation of scouting, membership and money, right? Everybody is very familiar with the Friends of Scouting campaign and the focus on that, because it is, we need funds to operate. If we don't have youth, we don't have anything, right? So there's no reason to raise money if we don't have the youth to serve. So the idea here is a unit that is healthy, that is retaining their scouts and is drawing in new scouts, should get recognized for that. Everybody should be striving for growth anyway. But how can you tell if you're a new parent, or if you're we're from the council level, how can you tell the units that are healthy at a glance versus ones that are struggling, right? Well, a way to do that is this recognition program. So we're looking for 1.5% year over year, and a 68% or greater retention rate. Like we said, there's a banner that goes on the guide if you and then your unit leaders and your new member coordinator. There's a golf shirt that comes with that. So there's a little bit more information in the one pager that will be posted, and that we have here as a handout.
Hey, Mr. Kevin, I'm also I forgot about Boy Scouts, so I'm also a pack leader, and I'm listening and I'm meeting. I'm in charge of like new recruits for. Yeah, one more thing Victor does. I don't want him to get bored.
Not me.
Go tonight. Project.
Can you hear us?
I'm working on it. Just to clarify on this unit recognition, that would be a maximum of 2 shows per unit. One
Yes.
primary unit leader.
He told me that I did the mind reading
Remember,
because we had a fallout with one.
decides they want, or the primary unit leader wants to award that shirt to somebody different in the unit, we just need the shirt size.
Did everybody online get that discussion about the shirt, the golf shirt, 2 per unit max, and then if the unit leader feels that somebody is deserving of the recognition for that work that they did, it'll just be making sure we have the right shirt size for folks. Okay. Okay, so our timeline. Like we talked about, getting ready for fall recruiting now, and really the generating, getting the packs back together. So we're doing the leader kickoff tonight. One of your handouts that was at the front was the fall leader, or the unit, the thing with the dinosaur in the front, the Great Dino Roundup handout. Very good. Walks you through elements of what we're going to talk about tonight. The order doesn't match exactly, but all the elements are in there, and it gives you a little more detail, some checklists, and kind of do's and don'ts and best practices. So I encourage you to get that. If you're online, it'll be posted. I encourage you to print it out and make some notes on it as you work through it. So right now, your district executives are out trying to set dates for your school visits, joint scouting nights with the principals, and coordinating with the units. You should be at the pack level doing your unit calendars, doing your annual budgets, doing your pack recruiting worksheets. We're going to talk about that stuff tonight. The back to the pack events, late summer, after day camps, before, after vacations, people are starting to kind of power down from their summer vacation and get ready to go back to school. Having that back to the pack event, reaching out to everybody on your roster, and getting them out and having that event to kind of build the excitement for the year to come. And then we move into active recruiting. So the open houses, the school visits, joint scouting nights, and then your pack or troop orientations. And then you've got your fall events. So your coverees, the first great den meeting or pack meeting, something that's well coordinated, well planned. You've got new parents, you've got new scouts, get them hooked. And then you've got your couple other events we'll talk about at the end that are planned for later this fall. Okay, next slide. All right, so that's the framework for what we're doing here. That's why we're here. We're here to help you plan out your ideal year, help you plan out a complete year, and have a plan going in so you don't have to be stressed out, in the middle of the month trying to plan the next meeting. And I'm gonna turn it out to Steve, right? Yeah, okay.
Hi, Dewey.
Dewey. Yep. Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Dewey. I'm Cub Master at Pack 212 in Three Rivers. I've been Cub Master there for 6 years, and that's all you need to know. All right, so we're going to talk about unit leadership and health. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these things I don't actually do, but I do it in a different way. So everything you see here, don't take it at face value. Make it your own and recruit and build it to your own liking based on your pack. Because smaller packs are going to do things different than the bigger packs that have 70 to 80 kids. Okay, but we're going to talk about how to know if your pack is healthy, how to recruit specific dens and youth, and what that kind of looks like. All right, go to the next one. All right, so how many of you have seen this before? How many of you actually used this before? Yeah. Okay. So I do this inventory, but I don't use this specific thing. Okay. I personally reach out to each family by text because that's just, I have a smaller pack. I'm averaging about 35 youth. And so I reach out to each individual family. I connect with them and say, hey, what's going on this summer? Are you guys going to continue moving on with us? And they tell me yay or nay. We also have a pack survey that we ask them to do as well, how we can improve, what we can change to make it better, to keep them invested. But these specifically, you have 3 different categories that kind of all ask the same similar thing. First is your den inventory, right? So how many youth are returning for the lion den and the tiger den, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have your leaders, right? So you need to know who's going to PCS at the end of the year, right? I'm losing 4 leaders before August. Right? Military, it happens. Okay, so I'm already in that contingency plan, and every year, what new leader do we get? Lion leaders, right? So obviously, your pack health thrives on lions and tigers, always. Okay, because they're going to be the life of your pack throughout your legacy. Okay, so you're aiming for those kindergartners, those first graders, and just because National says they can't join till August doesn't mean you can't bring them in early in June and bring them to those pack events to get them pumped up and ready to go. Okay, because especially those siblings that are itching to get in there and start earning stuff. My pack personally, we give lions in June requirements. Okay, because they like earning stuff too. But you're going to ask about your leaders. All right, not every pack has an assistant den leader in their pack. All right, but lions and tigers, you have all those parents. You don't have to have a specific leader to run the entire meeting. You want a registered leader, but they don't have to be the one running it every single week. They can be there present and have a parent kind of pitch in and say, hey, I hear you're a forensics officer. Would you like to lead something this week? Get that information from them and find out what they're capable of doing. So find out who your leaders are. Obviously, you're going to be, most packs, their leaders move on. So your lions are going to become your tiger leaders, et cetera, unless they're PCSing, and then you got to figure out what you're doing. And then lastly, the third one is how much youth you need. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure most of the packs in council are family packs. So you want to kind of have an even range. Specifically, when you're doing your Arrow of Lights, try to recruit both genders for Arrow of Lights, because as Arrow of Lights, you have to have 2 different patrols. And the last thing you want is 4 boys in one patrol and 1 girl in one patrol. Okay, because it makes it a little unfun when you have separate, things, and we can't do this and we can do this. So be thinking about that. Who's going to return? Your Weeblos coming up as AOLs. Are they going to keep going? Because this is that time where they're going to be like, well, sports are cooler. I like doing this better. I'm not going to continue on. Okay, find out those families that need that. Okay, and then all this is for when you're going to your open houses. Okay, target that little kid, and if you're specifically looking for lions, ask one of the families like me. I have a lion that's joining in June. Bring your lion. Okay, tell them, hey, I've been a dragon for 4 years. I'm ready to be a lion and actually earn something. Okay, bring them along that specific rank so they can tell the scouts that they're going to recruit. All right, next slide. All right, recruiting leaders. Yay. Probably one of the hardest things we do as leaders is recruiting leaders. Okay. The biggest thing we don't want to do is just say in front of everybody, I'm gonna pick on you, Victoria, because that's exactly the point. Hey, you're not doing anything, volunteer, lead the pack. We jump straight from, we need a position, be a Cub Master. Start them off slow. Get those little nuanced things. Hey, we're having our Pinewood Derby. Can you set up decorations? Okay, can you make the sign-up genius? Something small so that they can kind of get their feet wet and understand the program a little bit to where you're not just jumping them in face first and then, all right, you got it. You're on your own. Okay, because I will tell you that the national trainings don't give you everything appropriately for your unit. Okay. When you are giving them the sort of description of their job, keep it simple. Okay, you don't have to give them the whole big picture of Scouting America saying, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. Okay, you don't have to lay down the law right away, just kind of shadow them, be like, okay, wait, can't do that because that's guidelines, stuff like that. Help them, don't berate them and say, hey, this is not allowed. You know, make them look bad, just kind of teach them and ease them into it. Leaders are less inclined to jump in if you are micromanaging them. Okay, they're not going to want to step in if they see that you're just going to jump in and do it. Okay, why do I have to put in my effort if you're just going to do it anyways? Okay, so be mindful of that. Provide them with a mentor. Obviously, that seasoned scouter who's had 5 or 6 kids in the program that have gone through the entire program. Those are those parents you want to keep an eye on for. Those are the parents you're going to want to watch because they're going to have the most input into the pack. Okay, they've obviously stayed for good reasons. I have one family, they have 6 kids and they've been with us since Lions. They just had their first AOL and now they have one in Lions and Tigers and Wolves and AOLs. So like we jumped. Okay, so you want those families to have their input so that you can kind of build off those. And those are great people for new member coordinators because obviously they're doing something right. Okay. Provide them with dates in training, right? Best training you can go to is Wood Badge. Okay. Wood Badge. Okay. If they're new to scouting, Wood Badge is perfect for them. And yes, it sounds scary, but Wood Badge is a great opportunity for them to understand the scouting method. Okay. Not just Cubbies, but Scouts, BSA as well. That way, when they do start leading, it's not like, oh, that's why we do that, or this is how we do it. Okay. And then also Baloo. Okay. You don't realize how important Baloo is until you want to go on a camp out and you can't go because you don't have a Baloo train. Okay. I'm part of the Cub committee that plans some events. And one of the things we're struggling with is we have a lot of activities in the fall, but not a lot of activities in the spring for council. And anybody who's tried to sign up for spring camp, it's sold out in 28 minutes flat. Okay, so those packs that plan 2 campouts a month or a year, they're going to miss out on opportunities if they don't have Baloo trained people. Okay, because if they're only relying on council-led events, you're not going to have the opportunity to go out and explore to, you know, Cheatham Annex and Chesapeake Campground and other places.
Yeah, Stephen, this is sorry to interrupt. This is Jared, Pack 405. What are and I appreciate if this is perhaps an offline question. What are the thoughts on getting as many parents to register as leaders, even if we don't necessarily task them with anything because of the Too Deep Leadership SYT requirements when it comes to camps, hikes, etc.? Question. End of question.
It's not a bad idea, but here's where you're going to fall into the issue. Your training person, advancement person, has to be on point with their training and the SYT requirements, weather hazards, and making sure, because specifically your training representative in council is going to really push that. I mean, you can get them prepped for SBSA because that's the requirements there. But if you start to say, hey, you need to register, they're less inclined because unless your pack is funding that, you might actually push them away because now you're saying, hey, you have to pay the $65 to volunteer. Whereas if you're in a leadership position, my pack would pay for you. Kind of
No,
thing.
and actually, it's good you brought that up, because the second half of that, at least what we're considering in 405, is to encourage, not require, but encourage adults, parents to register, and then tie that in with when it comes to our fundraising events, popcorn, camp cards, etc. And that if the pack is financially healthy at the end of the year, we already have it in place that the pack will reimburse leaders for their registration fees. So it's kind of a win-win in a way. Again, I don't mean to sidetrack your conversation. We don't want this going longer than it already is. I just wanted to kind of float that out there as a concept.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and I think it's going to be based on packs specifically. There's nothing wrong with also getting all of your leaders and parents to take SYT as a high recommendation. You know, because every camp out, you're supposed to read the barriers to abuse before you go out on a camp out. So it wouldn't hurt them to say, hey, just watch this 30, 40-minute video on SYT to understand all that stuff. And then you're kind of helping yourself out in the long run too with that 2 deep leader. Oh, this isn't so bad. Kind of getting their feet wet a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, last but not least, I am terrible at this, okay? I'm the worst gift giver ever, but make sure you're recognizing your leaders, okay? That can be a simple thermos or a patch or something unique that specifies what they've done for the year, okay? Because the last thing is, oh, I'm doing something in the background and I'm not getting recognized. They don't see what I'm doing, okay? And a lot of people in your pack probably don't realize that Cub Master is doing more jobs than what the Cub Master is supposed to do, or the committee chair is doing more than they're supposed to do. Lay those responsibilities out and say, this is a team. It's not a one-man do-all or one woman do-all. Okay. Next slide. I think that's, yep. Yes, fill your main roles. Okay. I've had a few in my pack where they've asked to be like assistant Cub Master or something like that. I actually don't ask for those kind of high roles. I won't turn them down from leading, but I also try to help them and lean them to like a den leader or something that's more prevalent, that one helps with the youth directly or is something that is in more dire need, okay? Because den leaders are in short supply as it is. I'd rather have more den leaders than I do Cub Master, but that's just my pack. It is always good to have an assistant den leader. If you can fund it and you can do it, go for it. Okay, nothing says you have to have, you know, the only one that needs it is AOLs, because you need a female leader and a male leader. Okay, because if you have 2 different patrols, you got to have one for each. And then new member coordinator. I just got a new member coordinator after 6 years of being Cub Master. So it's a step. It's a step in the right direction. But we're getting there, all right? Know who your committee members are, all right? Know who those people are so they can count on your 2 deep leadership and keep up with their training as well. And then lastly, I am a huge component of a popcorn team. Don't put all your popcorn reliability on one person, okay? That is how they get burned out. And it's the same with any position. Make it a team effort, okay? Get more parents to just do little things. Hey, can you decorate? Can you come a little bit early to set up tables, something like that? But if you have a popcorn team, it's really good because then one person can do incentives, run to the store, for online orders, et cetera, okay? Any questions? Great, I love no questions. That is all.
Might end up needing steak knife.
Jeff, you need to be.
All right, how's it going, everybody?
Howdy. Good.
Sorry, I'm starting a timer, so I don't run too long.
Keep it down.
Yeah, I'm just trying. So I'm here to talk about the new member coordinator part. How many of your units actually have them? Cool. If your unit doesn't have them, you actually do have them, you don't realize it. We're going to talk about that. So often it's the first, we're going to get to that. Often it's the first official person that starts the process of paperwork and everything. They also named invitation and application manager. How many of you guys know what that is? That's great, because a couple of years ago we did this. I don't think any hands went up. And you help coordinate the scouts' first meeting. That's the new member coordinator's job. You're supposed to answer all the questions. You'll see an asterisk. You don't have to know all the answers. It can be a semi-new family. That's okay. It just needs to be the right kind of person that can get the right answers. And we'll talk about that next. So, I'm sorry, next slide.
Want this one?
Yeah, we'll come back to this one. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a better flow. This is what it takes to be a good new member coordinator. Somebody that has no problem talking to new families. They've got to be that outgoing type, friendly, bubbly, have some charisma when it comes to conversation. A used car salesman, just, not as slimy. Have at least some prior knowledge of scouting. That's helpful. If they don't, having 6 to 12 months of experience so that they know what a calendar year of your unit is like is helpful too. So either one of those, if they did it as a youth, just remind them it's a little different these days, because it was a shock for me. You got to know the basic methods and details about the unit, how your unit functions, because we're all different ecosystems. They should be an active member of the committee. They are a committee member as well as new member coordinator. So if you guys have ever planned a kid's birthday party, you can plan a recruiting event. Have you guys done a kid's birthday party before? A youth kids
I trust you to dress fine, Megan.
If you've done one of those with friends from school, you can plan a new member event. It's pretty much the same thing. A bunch of these little kids you don't know, and you got to keep them from dying, get them to the end of the event happy. That's the gist of it. And you should be organized and kind of clean. Thank you, Allison. All right, now we'll go back one slide. All right, so we talked about this a second ago. Every unit, whether you know it, have a registered person or not, has a new member coordinator or 5. It's all the leaders that fill in all those roles because they all happen to a decent unit that keeps going. You just might not realize that it really should just be one person's primary. So the main point of contact for families, recruiting opportunities, welcome face at the door, just that kid's birthday party thing. You're the one at the door guiding everybody. You answer the questions, and we don't touch on it a whole lot here, but you maintain the retention. You got to get them in the door and keep them in the door. That's a big part of this. And if the family doesn't have a schedule that works with your unit, that's not your scout. That is our scout. Help them find another unit that works with that family schedule. That's a big thing. You're not losing anything. You're helping that family gain something. It's different. And then, of course, they are part of the committee. They have to maintain all of that. All right, now we'll skip 2. So recruitment. This is what the aspects of the recruiting side of the new member coordinator's job. The different events, joining nights, bring a friend, different events at church, sporting events, anywhere where you got the ability to wear your scout uniform. That's a recruiting event. Anywhere you've got an ability to wear your packed unit t-shirt, that's now a recruiting event. You go out in public wearing your unit t-shirt, you're recruiting. Whether you're bringing people to scouting because of your appearance and the way you handle yourself, or, oh, well, that guy doesn't drive really well. He's all over the road and he's wearing a scout uniform. Maybe I don't want to do anything with that. Those are the kind of things that you're always recruiting if you're in uniform. And then keep in mind the district and council hosted events. That's an opportunity to recruit as well. We've got lots of those coming up. Talk to your district membership chair about how to help with those. It would be great to have more help. Next, now we'll talk about retention. You help keep the scouts and the leaders in the door, right? Keep an eye on the attendance. Keep a feel for who's fallen off. Try to pull them back. communicate face to face if you can. If you want to, schedule going out to coffee with somebody, just touch base and catch up. That's helpful. You're there to listen to their concerns and help them stay in scouting. If there's something that the unit needs to evolve and change, take that as a gift that they felt, safe enough to tell you, hey, this is something that doesn't work for my family. It might not work for others. Keep that in mind. Retention is about making sure that the whole unit, all of it, works for all of the members. And how many of you guys have done a family talent survey in your units? All the rock stars. Wonderful. Keep doing that. Is it helpful for you?
No. Yes.
Well, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it. I'm just kidding. She could be. I don't know. Well, it's the costume. I think if you're out of uniform, that's part of it.
Don't judge my nose.
So, yeah, use the family talent survey. It gives you a real quick score of what that family can bring to the unit, as well as what they're looking for if you do it right. And then we also talked about it's not your scout, it's ours. So keep that in mind.
Right.
Help them find a different unit. If then we've got a family in our unit that their schedule just changed, the mom got a new job. Our next conversation with them is, all right, what day of the week works for you? We want to make sure you don't lose your progress, you and your kid. Oh, time. All right, next.
You gotta stop.
No, I'm not gonna stop just yet. But you guys know how to get them in the door, right? It starts with a safeguarding youth training. Initially, these two were flipped where you register. Don't register first. You can't do that without doing the training. Do the training first, then register, right? Complete the new member coordinator and committee member training. You have to have a rough idea of how the overall works, as well as just how to get them in and keep them in. And then there's the district training days, University of Scouting, where you can do it in person as well. And then attend roundtable. How many of you guys attend roundtable? Sweet. Keep doing that. If you haven't been going to roundtable, you should feel terrible.
I feel terrible.
You should feel terrible.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
We have kittens, we don't feel terrible.
you have kittens? All right, we don't talk about it. Go to roundtable. That's where you will get a lot of the connections with recruiting. Next. And now it's not me anymore. I'm done.
What if we gave every
Yeah.
out of here?
We have any more kittens?
We can make it happen.
Hi, my name is Max Kang. I'm the committee chair for PAC 408. I'm going to be talking about building your calendar. So what does your ideal scout year look like? What do you want to see more of, basically? What about you? What do you like to see on the calendar?
Oh, PAC event, our PAC events. Like what's our big monthly event? We're bringing all the dens together to have something. Usually it's last second, like, oh, what are we doing for this one? But planning it out would be way better.
Right. All right. What about you? What do you like to see on the calendar?
Camping.
Camping
events.
All right. Well, this is where we're going to get to it. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to reverse the order. I like to start off with the school calendar. Because the school calendar, if you don't have the kids and they're on vacation, then you're not going to have a program, right? So first thing I put on there is the open house. Whenever I find the open house we always like to get in there because that's when all the kids are coming back. And that's the first chance that they get to see you out there. From there, I go to the council in district. So if you go to tidewaterbsa.com/calendar/ you'll get to the council calendar. On there, you'll see training, events, camping events, but like what you call Dewey had said earlier, you got blue training out there. And like I remember my first year we didn't have a blue trained, and we tried to get into the spring camp out, which obviously closes out quick. And so we didn't get to go camping that first year. But the second year, I found out I got blue trained. Now my pack has 6 blue trained members. So just keep pushing that. Camping, you find out when it opens, when registration's open, especially if you want to go to PepsiCo in the spring, because it opens up at 10 a.m. and you better be there at 10 a.m. Other events, so you can go to the community calendar. So the community calendar, there's outside events like Memorial Day wreath laying ceremony. This Memorial Day it's going to be lineup starts at 12, or lineup starts at 11. The actual ceremony starts at 12, but that's another great place that units can go out there and honor our nation's dead, and also the Veterans Day Parade. And also, I also like it because I ran the Princess Anne District Pinewood Derby, but I also like to do it because it actually happened to fall on the Shamrock Marathon. So with the Shamrock Marathon, there's a final mile, and who does the final mile? All your cubbies, right? So we had to push that back so everybody can do it. And then also, I want to add in there your charter organization calendar, especially if you like. I'm sponsored by a church and we use their facilities a lot. So we have to find out and make room for that as well. And also my personal calendar. You know, if you're the one making the calendar, I kind of try to do it off of my calendar just because I'm the one making it. And then I submit it to everybody else to see if they approve it. So they have this thing called stop, start, continue. So basically, you want to look at your last year calendar, like this past year. What do you want to start doing? If you want to see more hiking in there, you want to see more camping, you throw that in there. If you want to, you talk about your pack meetings. Instead of throwing everything together, go ahead and put it on the calendar so everybody knows that's going to be the pack meeting. And stop. What didn't work? What was just horrible? Like my pack, we went camping right after the District Pinewood Derby. That's because it just fitted my schedule. Well, we had a cold front come through. So everybody now wants to camp later. So I was like, all right, we can do that too. And then continue what's working for you, for your pack. So with my pack, we do the blue and gold and FOS presentation all together, right? But we also do a lock-in. And then next morning, we do our Council Pinewood Derby. It sounds busy, but it's really not. And everybody has fun and you just knock everything out right there in that weekend. And then we also added a movie night during the lock-in. So all the kids were watching, I think it was Zootopia 2. And yeah.
Gotta make it a dinosaur movie this year.
Yeah.
Before time.
Park.
We are.
Good,
Land before time.
Mine too.
Thank
you.
So you also want to collect information about where you want to go, places that you want to visit, that the unit wants to go to. I just handed out to you. This is my PAC's parental survey, right? So in there, it has everything that we want to do. Do you want to go to, like some people say they want to go to PepsiCo. Some people say they want to go to the Air and Space Museum out in Hampton. So, in there, it talks about, where you want to go. And then also, who should have input in creating the calendar? Everyone,
People
that's
that pay to
right.
be there, which is everyone.
Yeah.
Air and Space Museum will come to you too.
Oh, yeah?
We should live in that studio races.
I'll find that out.
We did it last year. They
Okay.
came for our blue and gold.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'll talk to them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, so parents, but more importantly, your scouts as well. Because like scouts, they want to go to PepsiCo because they want to shoot BBs, the archery, and all that stuff. And as you know, that's the only place you can do it is that council and district events. So, and that's included in the PAC survey. So, total program costs, so be upfront with it, say, hey, if we want to do this is how much it's gonna cost. You know, emphasize, you know, fundraising, which will be talked about at the next person will talk about that. So like, you know, the Air and Space Museum is like $65 a scout and then $45 an adult. Well, you know, how is your pack can supplement it, or, you know, pay for one adult to go, pay for all the leaders to go? Well, that takes money. So you want to be upfront with that. So keep the promise. So right here, this is how we keep our promise, is through the parental survey. So it tells me everything I need to know. But just warning, don't take everything so personal when you get them back, because when I got them back the first time, you know, I was like, I knew everybody's handwriting. So yeah, so then now everybody just tells me what was said. So
You could do a survey in monkey too, and then everyone's,
yeah. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the cost aspect of it. Make sure you're planning both spectrums of the cost. Because like a lot of those things, like the aquarium, for example, our package this year, it's like $95 a person. That's not going to be as realistic for a family of 5. So match an event, like you said, a lock-in or something that's like, it's not as cool as the aquarium, but to make it to where it's, I don't want to say affordable because that seems a little derogatory, but just kind of keep it a little bit level playing field for everybody so that it's equal for everybody to attend. They're more likely to come if they don't have to spend $100 per person.
Right, that's a good point. Right there. And also, don't forget to schedule your summer events. So you have your Weeblos, your AOL resident camps, you have day camp, twilight camps coming up, and you got 2 people back in the back. And just remember, you don't have to go to your district's your district's twilight or day camp.
Yeah, you come, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
And then and then also for this year, for the America's 250, there's a Liberty in Action 250th challenge.
Let's do.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh. But there's the Liberty in Action 200 challenge that, you know, everybody to do over the summer. There's a really cool patch to go with that that's available in the Scout store. And so
Yes. All right, go.
yeah, man. So you got also, don't forget about your summertime adventure award. You only have one requirement, and that is anytime during May through August, participate in a total of 3 Cub Scout activities. And the really cool part about this is that it's not dependent on one another. So as long as they're doing 3 activities, 3 Cub Scout activities. And that's my time. Any questions?
No.
Nope. All right. Clear.
All right, I'm next. Does anybody here not know who I am?
The dinosaur costume's throwing it off.
So I am Stacy. I'm a Cub Master of Pack 24 in Norfolk. I am also the Scout Shop Manager.
Stacy's old.
And that is, my kid's gonna call me that now. I also chair one of the Cub events in the fall.
Stacy, if you wouldn't mind, so that people on Zoom can see you in your regalia. Just for a second. Okay, thank you.
Don't see your tail.
We invested.
Chase your tail. Yeah.
I was spinning earlier. Andrew was laughing at me. Okay.
Not at you. Yeah.
Okay, so my pack is the opposite spectrum to doing. My pack is massive. At one point, we were pushing 80 kids. So financing is a huge part of Scouts. And I will not say by any spectrum, am I an expert? I do, however, have a treasurer who is an accountant. And that is the best way to go. The best way to finance Scouting is through fundraising. And the best fundraisers are the ones that council puts on, which are popcorn and camp cards. I reached out to the council popcorn chair and she said, if you want to understand how to finance scouting through popcorn, come to popcorn training. I asked her for like a bullet thing and the thing she sent me was like 5 pages long. I was like,
Yeah.
no, we can't do that in 7 minutes. What I will say is what my pack does is in June, we plan our year. These are the things that we want to do. In July, we sit down and go, this is how much everything is going to cost. And then we figure out how much it's going to cost per scout. My pack is not great at selling popcorn. For as big as we are, it is embarrassing how little popcorn we sell. But I also have parents that are military, half of them are deployed. They're completely fine with stroking a check as long as they know how much it's going to cost. But we sit down, we take all of our budget from the year before. What did we meet? What did we go over? What did we not spend money on? And then figure it out for the next year. The other thing that I have figured out works really well is my popcorn colonel and my treasurer, they are married. And if that is something that you can do, that is the way to do it because they tie hand in hand. My new popcorn colonel is, her spouse is not going to be my treasurer, but she's logistics and they get along really well. But those two go hand in hand, especially when popcorn is primarily how you fund your year. You take your budget, these are all the things we want to pay for, you divide it up by scouts, and that's your popcorn goal. If you do camp cards, it's the same thing. Camp cards is no risk. So if you're not selling camp cards, there's something wrong. You take them, if you sell them, you get the money. If you don't, you just bring back and there's no loss. But popcorn, you have to sell a certain amount of what you sell. Okay. Right, people, many hands make light work. My popcorn colonel and my treasurer are married. The first year that they did popcorn, they almost quit scouts because they tried to do everything on their own. We changed how we did popcorn. Instead of the popcorn colonel having to go and set up every show and sell and break down every show and sell, we made it an option where you can sign up to just set up and break down and you get a percentage of the sales for that thing. Dividing up the work worked so much better and our popcorn sales did increase because of that. So like Dewey said, if you have one person who, I'm good at decorating, ask them to make decorations for the popcorn table. That is your job. It's one less thing for the popcorn girl to do, and somebody gets to do arts and crafts, which a lot of people. We also do, I lost my train of thought. Camp cards. My husband is the district camp card chair, so my pack sells camp cards. You don't have an option, you're not gonna make them. But it is no risk, as long as you get them turned back. Key dates. Allison said come to popcorn training, but she did tell me all the dates. If you need popcorn training 101 is June 3rd. Popcorn training in Moya for 2026 specific stuff is June 24th. Huh?
June 24th.
Yep. If you want to come here, it is June 29th. And I did get permission to also say that online popcorn sales are starting earlier this year. It used to be August. Now it's a date in July. So you have more time to sell popcorn. I will say that there is only one unit in council that sells more online popcorn than mine does. Mine does insane amounts of online popcorn sales because 90% of my pack is military. So they just social media and families all over the country. The other thing you want to keep in account is the first popcorn order is due during summer. So if you're looking ahead, start talking about money now. So you know what kind of inventory you want to have on hand. Because we didn't do that last year and it kind of bit us in the butt when people wanted to start selling immediately. Popcorn goes from July to the end of October. If you want more information about it, come popcorn trade. All right. That's it for financing. All right, back to the pack. This is my baby. My pack does a barbecue. It is a cost-free event. You don't have to pay to attend. We do it at one of the city parks in Virginia Beach. And like Andrew was saying, it's a recruiting event. There are kids that have come up to my pack at that event. Wait, how do we get involved that a month later we're in the store buying uniforms? You are recruiting all the time. The thing about back to the pack is you want everybody to be there if they can. I have a new member coordinator and I have really awesome den leaders. So we set our schedule in June. In the very beginning of August, we start calling. Hey, are you coming back? Hey, we're having a picnic. Hey, come to this, and we give them the date and the time, and it works out well. Does anybody else do a back to the pack event? Andrew, what do you do?
We do like an end of summer party.
Where do you do it at?
So this year we're talking about doing it at a park, but
Okay.
we're still working out the logistics. We just did our annual planning, so working out something different this year.
So I will say that when you do the city parks, if you're a city resident, you get a discount. And they do book up over summer very quickly because of birthday parties and things, but most of the city parks have pavilions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to rent them though.
Yeah, to rent. And that's something we build into our budget. You do back to the pack? What do you do?
We do a fishing event in late August at the Great Bridge Lock Park.
Do you actually catch fish?
Yeah.
Okay, because we used to do fishing in the summer and we never caught anything. What about you guys? Do you guys do back to back?
We do usually a game event. Last year we did rockets.
Okay.
Someone online said they did a regatta regatta.
Yep, that's what we're doing this year.
Ooh. So everybody does something different. You just gotta find something that works for you. The important thing is doing one. And
We folded one year in with our popcorn kickoff party as well.
Yeah.
that is what I do.
Usually do.
We do
Yeah.
my back to the pack is at a city park. We let the kids play while we have the grub masters cooking, and we talk to the parents about this is the fundraising side of Scouts. This is how we do it. This is popcorn. But then we bring the kids back and we let them taste the popcorn. We get in a big circle. Everybody's got a bag. They have little Dixie cups, and then they got a vote at the end. When they enjoy the popcorn, they're more motivated to sell it. Because the first thing that happens at show and sells is people come up and go, which one's your favorite?
I've never tried popcorn before.
So when we do
Wow.
that, all of our kids are ready with an answer. They're not like,
Default's always the $55.
Yeah.
The chocolate one.
Yeah.
So the other thing that my pack does is, to tie in with what Max said, is we give out all the awards they earned over summer at that event. So if they went to day camp and did archery and BB and shooting sports, they get those pins and belt loops at that event. They get their summertime pin at that event. Last year we did Messenger of Peace. We gave that out. It gets them excited to start earning things for the year before school's even started. Other ideas are ice cream socials. Buy a bunch of ice cream, give them toppings, let them make sundaes. But what?
July 19th is National Ice Cream.
That's too middle of the
Or
summer.
June 19th, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right before PA Day.
Other good ideas is I have an awesome committee chair who's great with computers. He makes a slideshow display of all the stuff we did last year, all the pictures. These are the things we did. These are the things the kids really had fun doing. This is what you have to look forward to. I don't know if anybody else's pack does it, but Pinewood Derby is like the epitome of scouting for my pack. So they're like, when do we get our car? When do we get to race? Stuff like that.
Yeah, Stacy, sorry to interrupt. This is Jared, Pack 405. The Back to the Pack of the Back to the Pack event, I missed it. When typically do you have that scheduled for?
So we do it. It used to be late August, but I live in Norfolk and school starts earlier now. So it's normally like the second weekend in August now. We do it before school starts because once school starts, den meetings start. And then it's kind of a moot point.
All right. So a couple of weeks before the program year actually starts. That's what I heard you say. Thanks. I appreciate that.
The other unique thing about my pack is I have people from Chesapeake and Virginia Beach and Norfolk, and they all start school at different times. So we have to factor that in for when we do back to the pack, but we always do it before school starts.
Stacey, there's one online I just want to share with the room here that somebody put in there. I said we did a drive-in movie. Cubs made cars out of boxes and parked in the gym at our meeting place. They watched a movie and leaders brought them bagged popcorn. We sourced from a movie theater. Great meet the heat event and gave parents time to meet up and socialize to get back into the practice of scouting.
Yep. I like that idea. I can't do that inside. I have two. But for those that have the space to do that. Yeah. Don't, let's show you. We don't start a fight in this room about Larchmont Elementary. The other thing that my pack is really big about doing it back to the pack is this is where we need help. I have volunteers that help chair the same event every year. There's one, our September event, that nobody ever wants to chair because school's just getting started and it's too much. Every year I'm like, look, if you want to chair, you can pick what we do because we do something different every September. And normally that works. But that's where we talk about, I need help with this. We need help with that. We're going to do something new this year. Last year, we did our first ever popcorn celebration party to try and motivate people to sell popcorn. We did a movie night in the church and we had pizza and soda, which made a lot of parents mad, and all the leftover popcorn, and they got to watch movies. And that's where they got their popcorn awards. And the kids loved it, but it was something new and we needed a chair for it. So we expressed that before the year ever starts. When all the parents are there and they can be gently influenced by the leaders that do all the things already said. Family talent surveys don't work for my pack because they feel like if they fill it out, they're going to be tasked with doing things. So what I do is I have social butterflies. The moms that talk to everybody, they ask, hey, what do you do away from Scouts? And then, oh, you're a science teacher at ODU? Do you want to help with STEM? That's how we get parents involved, because nobody is filling out a paper because they feel like they're volunteering for stuff. The importance of Back to the Pack is getting everybody excited about starting Scouts again. I don't know if anybody else's pack does it, but I have kids that miss half a year because of baseball or half a year because of soccer. And we explain that you can do both of the things. We just got to balance and make sure you keep in touch with your den leader so you're making advancement if that's something that you want to do. But it's important to be organized. It's important to have basically an order of operations so you know you accomplish everything and you seem like you've got your stuff together, because there's nothing worse than coming back from summer and walking into a disorganized mess. So that's Back to the Pack. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? Okay.
Set a timer for 10 minutes this time. And
Ooh, that's longer than last
that
time.
one. All right. So we're going to talk about marketing. Does everybody's unit have a logo?
Yeah.
All right, work on it.
Pack 6, it's just a.
It's your identity. Yeah, you've got a design. You've got something. That's part of your identity. You've all updated your Be a Scout pin. If not, do it monthly.
I don't know.
You should be checking it monthly,
Oh, yeah.
please. This is what you're going to do as you're about to do all your marketing. Gather your existing and build some new resources. Review your old stuff. Prices change, people change, methods change. Lion, Bobcat changed. That messed a bunch of stuff up that I had printed. It was beautiful, and now it's all ruined. Thanks, Nash. Network, anywhere your family goes, encourage wearing your shirts. And then recognize and speak louder. I need to speak louder. Oh, this one. Yeah, that one's dying.
Oh, plug it in.
Can you hear me now? Is this good?
Oh, God. I want to hear your heartbeat.
Can you hear my heartbeat? Okay. All right.
Should be better.
Is this weird? It's weird for me.
It's weird for everybody. But
Yeah. Well, make sure that you recognize and celebrate your scouts that do try to recruit. If you've got lion, tiger, wolf, a younger kid that's real quiet, but he sees another kid at a popcorn booth and says, hey, you want to come join scouting? Even if that person doesn't join, recognize them, give them, attaboy and all that stuff, and really make them feel special because they tried. They got out of their comfort zone. Next slide. Oh, and that QR code that we skipped over. No, it's not a Rickroll. Scouting.org/recruitment. There's a ton of digital resources. There's a brand center. There's a marketing guide. Oh yeah, no, I did that one last year. So it's in that deck that you've got now. I'm pretty sure I put it in there last year. All right, now we'll go to the next one. Build your digital resources. So we're going to talk about a couple of different ways that you're going to need to arm yourself for recruiting. Digital resources are going to be different. You can do real colorful stuff and it doesn't take ink. Doesn't matter because you're not printing it. So get a public facing profile, post some stuff, post some updates, try to get some community engagement. If you can get a unit logo, I recommend that. I've got one for my pack, troop, other troop, and crew, and it's all very similar because we're part of a rescue squad. So it's the family scouting squad. We just got incorporated the other day.
Hey, Andrew, sorry to interrupt. This is Jared.
Is that
Hey, bud.
Hey, Jared.
One of the things I did last year, and I think I showed you, it Vistaprint. It wasn't super expensive, but I went and made Cub Master business cards and had a QR code for the website to the joining link. That's just an option. I'm not asking anybody to spend money, but if you're interested and you got an extra $30 you don't mind spending on business cards, that was something that I did, and it seems to have worked out fairly well.
That's a really good idea. I never thought of that as they hand out my business cards. No, that's a great idea. And it's real helpful to have something tangible, but that's the next slide. You're getting ahead of me. I like it. Thank you. Where was I? Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yes, you are. Make sure you update your PIN. I'm going to echo that a lot because most units forget it. If you're not in the room, you're missing out on the good stuff. I handed out a card, and one of the last of our limited run recruiting coins that we've done, that's got a QR code on the back that takes you to be a scout. Say again? Listen, you calm down. All right. Yeah. Make sure you have an official email address. Yes.
Sorry, I want to chime in about the PIN.
Okay, I'm pausing my time.
Okay, there are some units that when they go to recharter, it goes beyond the December end of the year thing.
Okay.
Your PIN automatically turns off if you don't recharter within the window. So make sure you go back in and turn it on when you get your unit on board.
Yes, you should be figuring that out in January when you're checking it to make sure that it's up to date. Yeah, because you're checking it monthly. Get an official unit email address. I got pack16bb@gmail. We've got troop16bb@gmail. Jared, you shut your face. That's a good looking card.
Thanks, bro.
Digital communication method and a living calendar for internal, because you're not just marketing for unregistered people. You're marketing for those that are in your unit because it's retention too. That's important. Next slide. All right, now the tangible stuff where Jared was taking us. Have you guys ever seen the trifolds that units put up with the wonderful, just super blurry, zoomed out pictures of all their events? Try to get some good pictures and put on there. But they are good ideas.
Got a fish and put that right on.
Yeah. Make sure that these are the tangibles. Make sure you have a one-page calendar of current or upcoming scout season, listing your schedule events, at least at a high level, like January. We're doing this and this and this. You don't have to put dates, just something vague to set the hook. Welcome to Scouting Guide. National puts out these wonderful well, I think these are Tidewater Council specific now, but they're a new parent guide. These are great. If you've got one like I do, specific to your unit, make sure that it's all up to date and the leaders and everything are up to date too, but they're good. New family checklist. Have you guys got new family checklists? Like, here's what you do to get them in the door. Use them if you don't. Business cards. We've got Jared's. You guys have got my old one. A uniform checklist. Yeah, I've got a newer one now. A uniform checklist so that you can convey to the families what your unit expects. A lot of packs do belt up uniform for Cubs. Is that the consensus here?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't expect them to get the $45 pants they're going to grow out of, or unzip and then they turn into two-tone pants.
When they run too small and your kid doesn't fit into them and
Yeah.
they're like a mile too long.
There you go.
Yeah, 405's requirement for Class A's is belts and above. So yeah, we're not asking them to fork over for pants 15 times a year.
Wait, who is this speaking?
You already know, sweetheart.
Family talent survey, we've already talked about that. And then you should have your expectation and code of conduct in that welcome packet. It shows parents that you've got expectations of them, and it helps to convey what you're expecting from the kids and what you don't want them to do. Or make sure that you're wearing closed-toed shoes at every one of our events.
Crocs, everything.
So that's all very important. Next. Scout joining night, managed by your new member coordinator. This is your kid's birthday party, just framed differently. That's really all it is. Have a simple agenda that flows, coordinate with your staff, your den leaders, your program staff. That's den leaders, Cub Master, assistant Cub Master. Get a plan for communication as people walk in, if it's going to be a QR code, if you've got different stack of paperwork, or if you're going to give them a little here and a little there, have an idea of how that works, set up your trifolds and your displays in an area, and then make sure you're promoting the Keep the Promise event. In the PA district, our Keep the Promise event is the day event for our cubbery in the fall. So it's going to all tie together. I don't know how the other districts are doing it, but at least I'm pretty sure that's what we've got planned. So make sure that you're pushing people to that or some other unit specific events that they can just come to and kind of dive into scouting. Next. ABR. Can everybody say it with me? Always be recruited. Thank you. Thank you, two of you. Thank you so much. Everybody here's a recruiter. Everybody online's a recruiter. All of your kids are recruiters. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing a scout thing, you're recruiting. Review and update your pin. I think I've talked about that maybe one other time. Please check it. There's been different glitches where your pin, your little drop pin on the map ends up in Africa. Sometimes that happens. Fix it. It's kind of hot. It's kind of hot.
It's hot here.
Keep these things on hand, or at least this is my suggestion. Keep your uniform sheets, your welcome guide, have some business cards, keep some in your wallet for your unit. Recruiting patches. So in my unit, we don't follow all the rules. I know it's a surprise to people that know me. Oh.
The other ball's going.
Yeah, no, I changed the thing. So I follow all the rules except the recruiting one, right? If a kid puts out the effort to try to recruit, they've earned the patch in my eyes. The scout shop doesn't say I can't buy as many as I want, so I'm going to buy as many as I want. I give it to the kids and the parents and the leaders that put out the effort.
New rules.
Yeah, council's going to stop me from spending money at the store. No. I keep them in my shirt pocket. That way, if a kid brings a friend that night, tonight you get the patch. You did a thing. If a parent signs up, the leader that recruits them gets a patch. Everybody gets recognized. And keep some paper applications, blank med forms. It's always good to have. If you can't get the online application in or you don't have signal, you can get this all filled out and they're legit from the moment they sign it, right? No, well, I'm getting two different answers. I'm gonna go with yes.
That's my tea and turn it all together.
Okay, all right, well, yeah. Use your PAC recruiting worksheet as a basic starting point, and that's next. Does everybody see this in their packet?
Last page.
It's real, this is just a high level minimum, what you ought to be doing. There's more that you can do. Highly recommend you do everything you possibly can. Recruit a new member coordinator. You've got 1 or 5 already, whether you know it or not. Just get somebody to let that be their primary. Leader inventory, I think we talked about that. Hold it back to the pack, we just talked about that. All good stuff. Pack info sheet. Has everybody got one of the calendars that's got your stuff on one side and then a roster and who's who in the zoo on the other? If not, I recommend you make one. Attend the fall recruiting orientation. Well, you guys are a little ahead. We're doing a little early now. Update your pin. I know that's news to everybody here. Scout night as a pack or with another pack, hold an activity open house. Parent orientation. Do you guys do parent orientations?
Yeah, parent meetings.
Yeah, I have failed to do that a couple of years, and it shows when everybody's just confused and you start talking scout lingo and people don't know what you're saying. And then, yeah, pick a cool promotional idea. Wear a costume. At your recruiting events, do you guys wear full uniform? Do you go khaki? Does your would you want your new member coordinator to go full khaki?
No.
You want them to be kind of approachable. If you've got a committee chair and you want them to blend in and not be approached, have them wear civvies, have them wear street clothes. If you want them to be seen as somebody that's in charge of a little area, they can wear khaki. That's the person running this station, but the new member coordinator can be in something a little more welcoming that's not intimidating. Highly recommend that. It's not on the sheet, but it's a good idea. And if you don't know by now, my name's Andrew Huddle. I got a lot of positions. If you need anything, let me know.
Hey, the Scouting America Polo is in the scout shop, and it is relatively inexpensive. Just a thought.
Who is this?
You already know.
I'd like to add to that, Google Pin works too. If you can create a Google Pin for your pack, it's actually really cool. Our pack tried it out. So anybody can just search Cub Scouts near you and that pin will show up and it'll show like where you're meeting. Then your information is website or whatever. We're trying it out and then it's so far.
Maybe for a couple of months. And you do the search engine optimization, you'll do like my unit and get calls for council. Yeah. I still get counter phone calls. Hey, are you scouts? Yeah, sure. So you want to sign up?
All right, so we're moving on to the school focused recruiting. Probably most of you know what that is, but we just want to reiterate that is where your DEs are currently working with superintendents in all the school districts to get access into schools. And then they will go to each principal at every school and try and set up a version of a youth talk, whether that might be going class to classroom, that might be a lunchroom talk, that might be a gymnasium talk. So those are the different avenues that we do, but that is where the DE will go and set that up so that we can get to as many youth as possible to bring back to your unit. We do ask that if you have a parent or somebody that's really tight with a principal and maybe can assist us if we're having trouble, that be the only time that we have the volunteers go and talk to the principals. And we only do that because we want to make sure that we're not double hitting them and kind of burning a bridge. So that's what we do. We go in right after school gets started. So we're working with the superintendents now so that we can get all those set up for when school starts back up. And then that's kind of where the unit needs to be prepared. So if we go into the school today, we're coming back tomorrow night to talk to the parents. So we're getting those kids jazzed up to go home and make sure mom and dad brings them back tomorrow night so that we can talk to mom and dad and tell them about the program and get them signed up. And that's where the incentive for this year, when they come back to that meeting tomorrow night and sign up, they're going to get this dinosaur egg with their little tool to break it open as soon as they get home and get it all over the carpet. That's kind of the goal right there. But that's what we do. So the unit needs to be prepared for that night. So some of these tools that they've just told you about, you need to have that information sheet so that after we do our little spiel, we're going to get up there. We're going to talk about all the ins and outs of scouting, how much it costs, what a den meeting is. We keep it top level just to give them the basic information what scouting is about. And then we're getting them signed up that night the best that we can. If they get signed up, they get that incentive right there. You guys have got to be ready to give them the information so they know where do we go. Some of our schools are going to have more than one unit at it, right? So you need to have that out. You might meet on Monday night, you might meet on Wednesday night. So they're going to want to know that information. Monday doesn't work for me, so I'm going to have to go over here. So you need to give them everything you need, who to contact, because what if they can't make that first meeting? They need to know where to go and who to contact to make sure that they don't miss out on any opportunities. So that is kind of your part to make sure that you got all your resources so that we can share that with them. We also have yard signs. I know these have been around for years, but make sure you ask for your yard signs. We have yard signs that will be handed out at that August kickoff meeting. We can also give them to you at any point in time. We're just now ordering some of this stuff. We still have plenty. Put these in your yard. See if you can put them at your charter organization. Anywhere that's going to be allowed you to put these in there, I would highly encourage you, and you can customize it to your unit. So make sure you use yard signs. We will put those at the schools as we do this as well. So if we're coming this week, we're gonna ask the school, can we put the yard sites out a couple days before we're there so that everybody knows when we're going to be there. We also have posters that you can customize too. If you have somewhere that you would like to put a poster, if you guys can see that, we have these as well. And as you know, we always have flyers. Flyers are an easy one that we can share with you. And if everybody read the EK, which I'm sure they did this month, in there was a thing about spring recruiting. We have what we call geofencing. There's a form on there. If you have an event that you would like to put on Facebook so that we can ping it out there, a recruiting event. We're not just looking for like a pack meeting. We're looking for something that you are ready and can take new scouts in. We would have what we call geofence. There's a form that you fill out and you give it to your district executive. We put that as a council. We pay for it. It does cost, but we pay for it, no cost to you. And it goes on Facebook. And then we're going to send the link to your unit leader, whoever has asked for it. And we ask you to share it because as many families as you get to share that link, it goes out that many more times. So it's a great resource to utilize for you guys as well.
Yeah, Christy, this
yes.
is Jared. Sorry to interrupt. For the events where the DE is visiting the schools, is there, and this may already have been answered, I apologize if I didn't know, but having the unit leader, Cub Master, or perhaps committee chair, somebody to kind of stand next to you and just be the other face that these parents, that the kids are also going to see the very next time, and that then the parents are also going to say, oh, you're the person that my kid was talking about. Is that something that has been or will be kind of communicated to the unit leaders for that purpose? Question mark. Sorry, I'm talking too long.
All right, thank you, Jared. So when we go to the schools, if you're interested in assisting the Ds to do that, there would be some training. We want to make sure that we get the right message and we're kind of doing it the right platform. So Jared, to answer your question, if you're interested in that, get with your DE and we can talk about that. But units will be invited to the night after where the parents are going to be there and they are going to see you and know who that person is. Does that answer your question?
It very much does. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep. The other thing is you guys got to get ready for is to keep the promise. So when we go into the school, we're telling these youngsters certain things that we're going to do. And one of them is a dinosaur theme this year. So part of that keep the promise is having dinosaur activities. So when you go back to your districts, hopefully that event will have something. There's a lot of STEM-based things that you can do with these. And on the table back there, and for you, I know you guys can't see it, there's a little box. And inside there are some fossils. So this year, to tie our theme in and give every pack the ability to have this theme is we have, if you guys can see this, a fossil box. So we are providing you with kind of all these tools right here to maybe have a den or a pack meeting where you have the fossils and we're tying this theme at least to one of your meetings. So it's a resource we're giving you to kind of tie this back. Hopefully you utilize it fairly soon after all your new scouts, so they kind of see. We talked about dinosaurs, we sold dinosaurs, do a fossil activity with them, because then we're coming to the Keep the Promise, where we're doing what we said when we get them excited about dinosaur themed activities.
Is the sand sold separately?
We will provide you a box very similar to that right there. So, yes. We're trying to take care of you this year and giving you a resource to kind of meet our theme.
I still have to put it together.
And you have to vacuum the carpet when you're done.
No, I don't.
We are not putting the fossils in it. We will let you do that part, but you will have everything else. And so our Keep the Promise events, 3 districts are having them on October 24th, and Princess Anne's is on November 14th. And one of the goals for that is, because we were telling these kids that we're going to go camping, you know, we're going to do some really fun stuff. So we need to get them camping within that first couple months that they've joined. That helps with your retention. That helps obligate you for what we said we're going to do. We don't want to tell them we're going to go fishing and then they never see a fish, right? So to Keep the Promise is kind, well, they might not, I guess. We can go fishing, yes. But anyway, we're trying to make sure that we hold up to our end of what we went into the schools and got them really excited about. What not to do. One of the biggest.
Where's my game supposed to be? They're still on the same. Lily, y'all didn't start till like 6:45. Well, when are they supposed to end? I think they still gotta, after y'all are done, they still got a badge. Y'all gotta hold them. If y'all walk.
Yay.
There you go.
All right. But not,
We muted you.
Oh, she left.
what not to do is to not use the fossil kit that you got. You know, don't go to the Keep the Promise. Those are things not to do. We've told these youngsters that these are things that we're going to do and you're going to enjoy scouting. We need you guys as PACs to help us make sure that these activities happen so that we don't put a bad taste in their mouth and we said we're going to do it and we don't do it. The PAC recruiting sheet that Andrew talked about, the very last page, your DEs will be coming around to all the PACs and kind of going through this with you, making sure you understand your unit has any questions. If you need help with that information sheet, we want to make sure that we equip you for our Back to the Pack night so that, our school night, so that you guys are ready and you can get all this youth that we want you to have. Yes.
There's a question up there, and I can answer that. I just didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, so we are lucky that we have our scout shop manager right here to answer that question. So the new member coordinator swag that is available are t-shirts, polos, and patches. And I don't carry it all in the store because there's a plethora of sizes, but I can order anything for you and it will be here within a week.
Perfect. Thank you, Stacy. Anything else? All right, I'm gonna turn it back over to John.
All right. Let's see if I can carry out the advance slide. Yes, look at that. Too many hours in front of PowerPoint. Okay, so last section here. So what are your resources? I think you've heard a lot about it today. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse on this one, but your council and district membership committees are here to help you, right? There is an experience and the ideas that you heard expressed tonight. If you heard something that you liked and you don't know who was talking about it, or you want to learn more about it, reach out to anybody at the district or the council, and we'll get you in touch. Okay, you got your unit council commissioners. The professional staff is here. Andrew talked about district and council events. There are several of those that are coming up. That is your. You'll be, I think the units are asked to support those things, but look at that as a sort of a freebie for you, right? You get to do a unit event that the district or the council puts on, and it eases your burden a little bit, right? And the larger events like that tend to have, maybe some more dynamic things that are being done, because the old adage, many hands make light work, and maybe the resources are a little bit different. training. So we do in-person training, obviously, at the council level. There's online training. As you get your leaders signed up, please have them get their training done and make sure you stay current. All the Baloo conversation earlier brought back just a wave of memories of my Baloo training in the mountains of San Diego years ago. And it was probably one of the things that hooked me on scouting as an adult. So I encourage you, it's an investment of time. It's worth it. And as you are talking to your parents, your new parents especially, if they want a easy, fun crash course on getting involved in scouting, those types of things are really helpful. And then the online resources. So we've got the Tidewater Council site. There's a membership support tab in the menu. And you go and there is probably about a dozen different links in there for tools that you can use to help understand checklists and blank forms and things like that. Some of it needs to be updated. We're going to try to get the 2026 membership plan that was sent up to National a couple months ago up on that site as well. And then the last thing I'll say is that the membership is the foundation, right? Membership and money. Membership is part of the two-legged tripod. Tripod has 3 legs, so it's 2 of the 3 legs, I think, because you have to have adult leaders members, you have to have youth members, right? So focus on membership is the recruiting is important, the retention is important. All of these things we talked about tonight, they feed both of those things, because a good program that draws in a new scout will keep a scout. Okay, so I encourage you to really focus in on your program and on your recruiting. Unit growth equals unit health. Okay. Last thing that we're going to talk about here. So I've got 2 of these, the first and the last, and I'll kick it over to Kevin. You've got the pool party, right? Okay, and then Chip is online for the ROE. So day camps and twilight camps have been talked about a couple of times, I think tonight, but in October, no, sorry, this is June. Sorry, June and July, we've got the districts. There's 3 day camps and 2 twilight camps that are coming up this summer. Not too late to sign up for those, from what I understand. It's I remember sending my kids off happily to camp for the week and then coming back filthy and happy. And so I encourage everybody to and exhausted. Yes, most importantly.
And you can send them more than one.
Right. And I even had my nephew fly to Florida to visit us and go to camp with his cousin. It was awesome. They still talk about it, 15 years later. And now they travel together. And then so I encourage you, look up your district events, push those events, talk at your unit level about getting your kids there and getting a critical mass of them so that they've got their friends there with them. So I'll turn it over to you for the pool party discussion.
So I'm also a Twilight Day Camp Director for 3 Rivers. If you don't have an opportunity for range and target activities, those are those opportunities in the summer that they can get those. Okay. But I'm not here to talk about that. But so September 11th through the 13th, there's going to be a massive, keyword massive, pool party at PepsiCo. All right. They have a pool, yes. It's usually not open any other time. I have some extra flyers, but the cost for youth is going to be $32. We're going to provide lunch on Saturday. We're going to try to do a night swim, glow in the dark type party type thing. There will be range and target activities there as well. So it's going to be a full length camp out to allow the scouts to get some pool time, relax right after school starts. Because that's the first week of school for most districts, mostly. So it'll be a great time. I'm the chair for it. Rick will run the aquatics portion of it. But if you have any questions, please reach out to me. It should go live on Black Bug shortly. We have everything set up, just finalizing the budget. So I'll have some of those in the back if you want them. But yeah, 32 for youth and 19 for adults. Okay, 11th through the 13th.
What's the batch look like?
That's a great question. Ask me in about 3 months when Jamie and I finalize it.
You know what that's?
Okay,
You know how to talk about the other one?
But there's gonna be
Chip, Chip, you still online, able to talk about the error?
Yep, I'm here. We ready?
Sure.
Yep. You hear me?
Gotcha,
Yes.
sir.
All right. So 17 to 20 September, we will have the second annual council-wide Arrow-Ree, and that is for scouts from Cub age on to camp at Oceana Naval Air Station and take part in the air show up there. We've got several things that are special add-ons to the air show that we're working on having for some meet and greet with some of the different squadrons for the scouts, and they'll help with FOD walk down and some events that we're trying to get in for Saturday night. But overall, it gives a great time to be able to camp close to the air show and have easy access to the air show there. This is a Cub-friendly event, and I'm going to find out with the meetings starting up with the base next month. But last year, the minimum age for doing the FOD walk down was 7. Just for everybody's kind of planning purposes. The air show can be a little loud at times. We do have your hearing protection that you'll be able to get with earplugs and all, but for some of the younger youth, I'd recommend that they have some of the good muffs that'll go over their ears. That's a little harder for them to lose and take off as well. But really great time, great access to the base and access to all of the festivities that are going on with the air show. Units, as they're camping there, can start camping Thursday night if they want. They can just come for the day. There's a variety of options, and when we get that out in Black Pug next month for sign up, there'll be a variety of ways units can sign up there to participate. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We had over 460 scouts and scouters attend from 6 different councils last year. And provided I get the additional space for tents from the base, we expect to go over 600 for our maximum this year. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If anybody's got any questions, I think there's some flyers around in the room, or you can get it digitally and can email or give me a call if anybody has any questions or concerns.
Yeah, Chip, this is Jared. Thank you for that. Retired Navy here. For the youth, there are some amazing, because I've got them before for my kids, there's some amazing earmuffs that are youth oriented. You might see them on Amazon for, folks that, for young folks that are, autism, etc. But bottom line is they're youth-sized earmuffs, and they're very inexpensive.
Yeah, you can get some smaller size of the earmuffs too. There are some pretty good earmuffs that are out there that aren't as expensive, that are meant for youth, for like shooting sports and things. So if people are concerned on that, I think that's another avenue you can look at. Sometimes what you can do with those too, even if they don't have as good of noise protection, hearing protection as you like, is you can put the foamies in and then put the muffs over them, and it's a little harder for them to lose the foamies that way, and you're kind of double dipping on the hearing protection.
Yep, absolutely, I agree.
All right, before I let you talk.
All right, so we're back.
You're back to slide. New Scout Field Day, so October 24th and November 14th are the field days, free for new scouts. Overnight options available at a couple of them, I think. Those will have a cost, even for the new scouts, but the day activities are free for new scouts. That is part of the Keep the Promise when you are signing up your new scouts. And now, yes, ma'am.
So we have a list. There are also 2 Cub camps at Pipsico that Dewey and I chair, one in October, one in November. And we're slowly mastering it. It's always a good time. So keep that in mind when you're making your calendars. Mine is superhero themed. Dewey's is
Cub Olympiad.
There we go.
All right.
Can you get something on the calendar for those?
It's
Mine's open.
Mine is
Well, let me understand.
The pool party's not open.
Hey, so first off, let's give these guys a round of applause for all their speakers tonight. No, John, we have put a lot of effort into trying to make sure we kick off in a motivated way and we get people excited. We have a big job this fall. We're trying to recruit 1,000 new families in the Scout. And that's why our program calendar is packed with events. And that's why it's important that we come here tonight and spend not quite 2 hours trying to sharpen the saw. We have a first impression when that new family walks through the door, and you only got a finite amount of time to impress that decision maker in that family. It's usually the mom. You got to impress them with this program so that they'll make a monetary commitment to do it. And if we stumble out that door and we're not charismatic, or we have the wrong person trying to sell and run the meeting, or we talk too long, or we don't get the applications filled out, we can lose that opportunity on getting that family to join. If that young person was a good enough salesman to get mom, dad, or grandma to bring them to a Scout sign-up meeting, we should do our part by getting them to sign that young person up. That young person did a lot of work to get mom or dad there. Now we have to be good salesmen and have a good, great first impression to close the sale. Our mission is to get more kids, more Scouts in Scout. That's what everybody's mission is. And that's what we're training to tonight. One of our packs did an awesome job closing the sale at the school sign-up meeting last year. Pack 374 at Christopher Farms showed up, and they brought their whole pack, and they basically put on, is anybody from 374 in the room? I started. They did a great job in offering activities for the Scouts to do, and the families that were there making a purchasing decision saw how engaged their young person was with these activities and the things that they were getting to do. It was not just a talking head meeting. They came, had activities, got those young people engaged. All those parents saw the return on investment and they signed up right then and there. And we watch those numbers. That's part of what your professional team does, is they keep up with how many young people show up or how many families show up at the school night, and then how many sign up the night of, and then how many of those sign up later on through Be a Scout. Okay, we watch that. And frankly, we had a lot of schools where we had 12 to 15 families show up and only 3 or 4 paid and actually joined. That's not a very good rate of getting folks to pay and sign up. So again, it's very important that we dress appropriately for those meetings, that we talk well, that we communicate well, that we have return on investment in mind, that your unit brings a sale or a unit specific flyer that they can hand each family that has calendar dates that the den and the pack and the council activities is all there on a sheet that you can hand them, because we frankly can't let every unit get up and speak about all the fun things they're going to do, or we'll never get out of that meeting. We got to be quick and able to close the sale and get that family out the door. But we also want to make sure that they have the information that they need to re-engage with the unit once the school night is over. We have 70 traditional troops in this council. 70. We got 47 packs. What is going to happen to those 23 troops that don't have a pack? Eventually, they are going to die on the vine because they don't have Cub Scouts coming through that program, filling that troop up with new Scouts. We have to do more to grow our Cub Scout pack program so that troops have a linked pack. All right. So think about that. Think about how we can expand. Think about how we can grow. If your pack is full and you don't want Scouts, then we need to know that because we're gonna go start a pack close by. Because that means you're getting all the kids you need. And there is still a need because we got more families wanting to join, but you're full. So that is why that pack inventory is very important to us, so that we know where there is opportunity to open up a new gas station to sell more Scout. Okay? And don't view it as competition. View it as program health. That's what it should be.
58, 59, 60, 1 minute. How did you do it?
Those are my key comments. Thank you, Jared. Those are my key comments. Again, thank you for taking the time to be here this evening. We're dependent on being a team that all steps off together. You guys are a very integral part in making sure that the program is delivered, and we couldn't thank you enough for being here. Thank you.
No, thank you. Love you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
For those of you online, all this will be posted by Friday, materials, so you'll be able to access the recording if you need to share it with others, the recording of the brief tonight, the brief itself, and then the handouts that we have here in the room. But thank you, everybody, for dialing in tonight. For those of you here in the room, thanks for making the trek over here and joining us, and for your engagement, participation tonight, and your dedication just throughout.
Meeting adjourned. We can start the meeting after the meeting.